Hi everybody, this is Anusma Tunga, aka Dr. Ghost. Today we're going to be looking at different types of the body muscles. We've got skeletal muscles, smooth muscles, and cardiac muscles. I'm so excited. Let's get into it. All right, so let's start with skeletal muscles. These are muscles that are attached to the bones via tendons, and not all muscles have tendons. Some do not, like the tongue and some facial muscles. Their function is to move the skeleton and also generate heat and protect the internal organ by absorbing impact. Then they're basically contractile muscles because their main function is contraction, but then they easily get tired. Yeah, and they also undergo hypertrophy, which is growth from exercise, or atrophy, which is shrinking from disuse. So if you exercise, you gain muscle. If you don't, you lose muscle. And then we also have cardiac muscles. These are muscles of the heart, basically, and they are shorter, they are branched, and they are uninucleated. So these muscles, practically their function is to pump blood. That is what the heart does, and the uh, muscles, or the myocytes' main function is to pump blood. They do not get tired. I mean, your heart does not get tired of pumping blood. It pumps as many times as possible. They've got a lot of mitochondria and um, myoglobins. Basically, they are just active over and over again using a lot of TP, generating it with the mitochondria that they have. Then we also have smooth muscles, and smooth muscles are found mostly in hollow organs like the blood vessels, like the stomach, like the intestines. This is where the smooth muscles are found. And they're just like the heart, they're evoluntary and they do not stop working. They have different layers within them and different thicknesses, and they can be called different things according to location. But basically, smooth muscles, their function is peristalsis, which is helping things move, literally controlling the movement of substances. Then blood regulation, blood flow regulation, yeah. Then pressure. Then they also control the airway diameter. They also propel urine, birth contractions, because they're also found in the vagina. And uh, these muscles are literally very important because of their stretchy nature. They're smooth and they stretch. That's how they allow birth to happen, you know. Or even if you think about your intestines, when you eat, they allow the entry of food through the esophagus all the way through the digestive tract. So basically, these muscles are elastic in nature, or even with blood, right? When your blood pressure or your blood volume increases, they stretch, they allow that increase by stretching. Yeah, so that's basically it. So we're just going to talk about the differences in these muscles and their structure. We're going to look at their microscopic view as well, and hopefully when a question comes, you'll be able to identify them based on their differences, based on their microscopic view, and I hope this actually helps you understand them a little bit better. All right, so basically, in terms of differences, we have key features like the fibers, right? The fibers of the skeletal muscles are striated and they're tubular and they're multinucleated. And then the fibers of the smooth muscles are non-striated, they're no striations, and they're spindle shaped with pointy ends, yeah? And they are uninucleated. So only one nucleus per cell, okay? And then the fibers of cardiac muscles are striated, branched, but uninucleated. So then they contain what is called as intercalated discs, which are discs that are found between cells, and their function is to conduct electricity or electrical impulses in the cardiac muscles or in the myocytes. Yeah, and then the skeletal muscles have voluntary nervous control, usually controlled by um, which is usually controlled by the somatic motor neurons. Yeah, so it's a somatic nervous control, and the rest, which are the smooth muscles and the cardiac muscles, are autonomic nervous system, meaning they're involuntary. In short, we're saying that you do not tell your heart when to pump. You also do not control when your digestive system breaks down food, but it all happens subconsciously. You don't even have to think about it. It just happens. But you do decide when you want your finger to come up, or when you want to stand up, or when you want to sit down, and that is that is voluntary control, the somatic motor control. Yeah. And then the other thing is that in terms of skeletal muscle contractions are faster, stronger, but they get tired easily. So that's why if you find yourself in a certain position or lifting weights or whatever you're doing that is heavy weight, that is heavy load, your muscles will get tired, right? But then with cardiac muscles, the contractions are rhythmic and they do not tire. They don't get tired. That's why your heart never gets tired of pumping your blood. And they cannot be consciously stopped or controlled in any way. It's all involuntary. And for smooth muscles, the contractions are slow and weak, but they are sustained for a prolonged period of time. You find out that in the GIT, for example, there are longitudinal muscles and circular muscles that control this. They're smooth muscles that actually control peristalsis and movement of food, and these are the ones that are responsible for the contractions. And we'll look into that when we look more into the GIT and the layers of the GIT, and we'll go through that. I hope that will be very soon. But basically, all these muscles contract differently. So there are basic mnemonics that can help you understand this. For example, if you hear the word skeletal, think of strips for the striations, spontaneous control, meaning it's not involuntary, it's voluntary control. And then when you hear cardiac, think of connecting via discs, the intercalated discs I mentioned, and continuous rhythm, right? And then if you hear smooth, let's think of single nucleus, sluggish, and also strong endurance. You understand that? So I hope this actually helps someone. And it's not really a mnemonic, but it helps. I hope it helps. And then now we're going to look at the microscopic view of these muscles and just get to appreciate all of them and how they appear on the microscope, and just get to appreciate how smooth muscles have centralized nucleuses, and how cardiac muscles have intercalated discs, and how skeletal muscles are multinucleated. All the things we mentioned, I hope you can identify them on all these muscles. It was fun, and I hope you like this video. Please do comment, subscribe, share, like. Until next time, have a good day.